Everyone, this is Ida with Created to Create. I have a small project share, and it's not anything out of the ordinary. It's just some bows. I am working on a project. Um, I won't be revealing what it is until October. So, as before, you guys remember when I was doing different embellishments, and then, of course, at the end, I revealed the housing for it. This is pretty much the same thing. Um, So I'm going to be working with the Prima Frank Garcia Christmas in the Country paper collection, and um, and I just want to share with you what I have so far. If you want to work along with me, and hopefully by the time we get to the end of when I do the review on the housing for this, you'll already have a bunch of stuff done, whether it be for your stash or if it's or Happy Mail. So anyway, the first thing that I created were some flowers and some bows, and I want to share them with you. Um, if you guys recall, I had hauled the faux vinyl from Hobby Lobby, the buffalo plaid, and and I wanted it to make bows because I had bought the Christmas in the Country paper. So these are the bows that I created. Now to create these, I did use that AliExpress steel rule die that does similar to the bride's bow, but this is a steel rule die, so it'll cut through vinyl, it'll cut through anything. I'll show it to you so you can see what it looks like. I have shared it before, but I'm not going to have a link, you guys. I don't even know if it's still available, but it's wooden on the back, and then you can see the bow right here. That's why I showed it to you backwards, because if I were to flip it around, you really can't see what it is, but in the back you can see the outline. It's this steel rule die that I picked up a while back, and I absolutely love it because it cuts through thick material. So I created these bows, but also what I did after I had created them, they don't have the bow that goes in the center. So this is that pink and main stitch bow. If I can find it, I will link everything that I can find in the description box. This is a pink and main bow, that stitch bow that I added to the top because I wanted to give it a couple of layers, and I think it looks really, really nice. And then of course the tag that I have on the back is the Graphic 45 large tag. And I do have one of their pre-made tags because those are made to work together. The die will cut out the layering piece for their pre-made tag. So I made 4 of these bows to go in my project. And then a while back, Abby had created a file for me of a certain bow that I wanted, and this was the bow. And she did it for me in the bigger size, but of course then I went in and adjusted, because once it's in there I can adjust it to any size. So these are the bigger ones, and they do have like the triple loops on it. It's very, very pretty. And the scraps that I had left over from the bows I just shared with you, I just cut out little strips to put around the center on the bow. On one of them I added bells, and one I left it without. So whoever this is going to, or whatever I'm doing with it, they have the option to either alter it a little bit more, add something more to it, and then they have one that's already has the bells in it. So this is the other ones that I created. And again, I backed them on the journaling cards. I love the journaling cards. A lot of times when there's a collection available, I always try to get the journaling cards because they're perfect for smaller projects like tags and stuff like that, and embellishments, but they're also perfect to as a backing for your packaging. So I always do get the 4x6. And then I kind of downsized the bows I just shared with you. I downsized them, used another one of those papers, and I did the little strips in the center with that buffalo plaid faux leather. So that's another one. And I'm trying to incorporate the pinks and the buffalo plaid the way they did on their paper. It works really well. Like, they did it really well. So I figure if it looks good for them, it'll look good for me. And then I created these rolled flowers, and I'm going to take them out of the package so you can see them a little bit better. I do have some fall projects I want to share with you, but this is what I'm sharing today. I created these rolled roses, and again, I backed them on a 4x6 journaling card from the paper collection, and I added some flakes. As you recall, a while back, maybe a year ago, I bought some of these flakes and I started adding them to my flowers for sparkle, and I really love the way they look, so I still continue to go and revisit that. So that's what I did here. I added those flakes, and these flakes are in the wedding department in Hobby Lobby, where they have the his and hers wedding stuff, and it's a large bag of these flakes. So that's what I did to these, and I'm going to share with you the die that I used to make this, and hopefully make one really quick with you. This is the Parisian Rosary Rolled Rose die. It's actually just a rolled flower, but to me the petals that look a lot like a rose flower, except for the stamens that are in the middle, because it does come with the stamens. And this is from a Sarah Davies collection. So I will actually, hopefully this will still be available, and I will link it. And here is what the die looks like. So I really like this one, and that's what that created. Now, here is the flower already cut out, and I can use it on this side or on this side. It doesn't matter because both sides are beautiful, but I think I prefer this one. So if I want this side to show, then I start rolling this way, clockwise. Now, if I want the other side to show, then I would do this one and I would roll counterclockwise, because I would want this to show. But in my case, I want this part to show. So all I'm going to do, and all you have to do is either get one of these tools that are for flower quilling. I don't know if this one's still available. I absolutely love this one because, as you can see, it's pretty long, the little nozzle where you can insert the paper, and it's like a round barrel that has a slit in the middle, so you can slide your paper through it. If you don't have anything like this, you can definitely use a needle nose plier and just kind of hold tight to it and don't release it. These are the ones that I have that I got from Abby. I don't even know if they're still available. I think she had one pair left, but I don't know if they're still available. If they are, I will link them. And I love these because they have the comfort grip and they're small. There's my hand. They're small. They're perfect for my hand. And the needle nose right here, the round needle nose, is very small. And I like that because it's very dainty, especially when I want to shape. A lot of times I'll use this to shape my flower instead of this tool. So that's one I keep always in my little caddy that I keep on my desk. So we're going to do this. We're going to just kind of slide the barrel in, and we're just going to start I'm just using my fingers to kind of twirl the tool around and keep making sure that this stays lined up. And the thicker it gets a little bit more difficult, but once it gets a little thick, you can actually slide it off and just keep rolling it with your hand if you prefer. But as you can see, it's pretty lined up the way I'm doing this. And so I'm going to continue to keep going until I get to the end. And you can do this with hot glue. You can glue it down with hot glue, or you can glue it down with a beacon. I'm going to use my beacon, or really any type of glue if you want to sit there and hold it. It just depends on how much time you have to sit there and hold it. I'm going to use the beacon for my project because beacon, even though it's a wet glue, it's more like a gel and it doesn't take as long to dry. So I'm going to keep twirling till I get all the way to the end. And I'm almost to the end. See how it starts to kind of come off, and that's okay because I'm almost to the end, and I can just continue. Oh, let me pull it snug. I can just continue to keep rolling until I get to the end. And see this little circle right here? This is made to go on the bottom of that flower. This is the piece where this base to this flower gets glued on. So this is like a lid for the bottom. That's how this works. And what I'm going to do with mine, I'm going to release it a little bit because I want it to open up a little bit in the center. I don't want it to be too closed up. And usually sometimes I'll just go in and really release it in the center. And just kind of work with it, until I get it to where I like it. And then I will go back and re-twirl, spin it to make sure that that the end is where I need it to be, that it's not too small or too big, because I don't like too much to show on this circle that's on the bottom. I don't like for it to show that much, so I like my little petals to be lined up pretty much on the edge. But see how you can see a lot on this side? Well, I don't like that, but that's just me. So I open it up a little bit more, and that looks pretty good. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some beacon to the bottom of that. And like I said, it's real easy to work with, but you do have to fiddle with it a little bit. But it's those of you who have trouble making roses, this would be a great one for you. And all you would have to do is snip off the stamens part, because roses don't have stamens in the center. So that's all you would have to do. So there, I added my beacon, and this is my favorite glue, and I usually try to link it. When I link stuff, I usually have a few of my favorite things underneath the product list, and that's because these are products that I actually do use and I really like them. So I usually try to do that, link my favorites on there. Okay, so now all we're going to do is hold it down for a minute. Make sure it's pushed all the way to the bottom, because you want to make sure that it glues down. See, I can see this one is a little higher up. And there's only one thing that I don't like about this, and if you have the time to fiddle with it, that would be great. I like my petals to be staggered, and a lot of times these line up directly one on top of the other. So you do have to take a little care with that. You got to fiddle with it. Sometimes I think it's easier to just do individual layers, but like I said, for those of you who have a difficult time making flowers, this is definitely one for you, because you will get beautiful results every time. So there it is. There is the flower. Now all I do right here is I'll go in with these, and I'll kind of just shape them. You know, just pinching the very tip of the flowers, and I'll start to give them a little bit of shape. And as you can see right there, and I just twirl it. I just give my wrist a turn, and I like the way they look once you give them a little bit more shape. And that's why I like for my petals to stagger, because when they're layered one on top of the other, they don't look as nice as when the petals are staggered. See, for example, right here, you have one on either side, and then you have the middle one. And that's really what you would want, but it doesn't always work out that way with the rolled flower dies. But they still look pretty, like I said, and you just got to work with them a little bit. And I actually tend to even pull these a little bit, kind of get them to where I want, because they're already glued down to the bottom, and you can manipulate paper, so you know it's not too much of a big deal. And there's one right here, and see, there's the stamens right in the center right here. As you can see, there they are in the center. And there's the flower that we just created. Real simple, really quick. Let me shape this one a little bit more. And then all I do is, let me grab my flakes really quick. I forgot to grab those. Here we go. So I actually put my flakes in just a little Tupperware, or not really, I don't even think this is Tupperware, but just one of those little containers. And this is what the flakes look like. Look at how pretty they are. And all I do is add my my glue on little different areas on my flower. You know, I don't take too much care when I do this. I just here and there, nothing major. And you're going to see the beautiful results. And I just kind of, this one fell in there, but normally that's what I do. I just tip it in there. And there's the flower. And then you can see if you need any more of the glitter flakes anywhere else. And I feel like I need some there. But this is the flower. And I'm just kind of fiddling with it to give it a little better shape than what it has so far. And let me remove this. Let's see. I want to add a little bit more. I try to make sure that all the petals have a little something on them. It doesn't always work that way, but I do try for them to have. And I think I need some in the middle because I didn't add any glue for the center. And let's remove this. You know, a lot of times we'll make a flower, and I was actually just making poinsettias, and the first ones I created, I wasn't too crazy about them. And I thought, why do they look like this kind of flat? Well, I've made flowers over and over and over again, but sometimes I forget to, to just moisten, or I get a little spray bottle, just mist it very lightly, and you kind of have to manipulate the paper so it'll look pretty. And sometimes I forget that that's a step that I can't miss, because I don't like when a flower looks really flat or anything like that. I always do mess around with them and, get them to where if I like them, then hopefully somebody else will like them. But if I think, then more chances are that whoever receives them, they're going to think, So I try to, kind of give it my all. And all I do is I have the repositional glue dots from the Dollar Tree. And I like these because if somebody wanted to reuse this card, those actually come off. They don't really stick to your flowers. It's only a temporary one, and it does do what it's supposed to do. It holds it temporarily, and then you can remove it. So all I do is put them on there. Look at how pretty they look, and it didn't take us very long to create that. But now I have a beautiful set of flowers that I created with the Christmas in the Country paper, and I think they're beautiful. But like I said, I don't know if I'm doing Happy Mail with it when I'm done or what I'm going to do with it. But regardless, I'll have plenty of embellishments, whether it be for me or for a crafty friend. So if you want to follow along, whether, like I said, it's for you or for a crafty friend, you'll definitely end up with a good stash or some awesome Happy Mail. Thanks for watching. I hope everyone has a great day. And I do have other projects that I want to share with you guys, but I was just kind of been working on little things here and there, not really uploading, but I will get back to that because I do have some projects already done that I can share with you. So maybe tomorrow we'll have another one. Everyone have a great day and God bless. Bye.